Most riders think accidents happen because of speed, or because someone was riding crazy, or pushing limits they shouldn't. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to accept. A huge number of motorcycle crashes happen at normal speeds, in normal traffic, with riders who thought they were doing everything right. No racing, no wheelies, no stupid decisions, just everyday riding. And still, it goes wrong. Because the problem isn't always what you're doing, it's what other people don't do. They don't look properly, they don't think about you, and sometimes they don't even register that you exist. There's actually a well known pattern behind this. Drivers will look directly at a motorcycle and still pull out like nothing's there. Not because they're trying to hurt you, but because their brain filters you out. You don't stand out enough to trigger a reaction. That's why the idea of being visible is misunderstood. Most riders think, if they can see me, I'm safe. But seeing isn't the same as noticing. And that gap, that's where accidents live. So this isn't about riding harder. It's not about skill in the way people usually think. It's about small behaviors, things that don't look impressive, but quietly keep you out of danger. And there's one in particular that almost no one uses the right way. Even riders with years of experience mess it up. We'll get to that. But first, you need to see how riders make themselves invisible without realizing it. Because once you notice it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Not just in others, in yourself too. Let's get into it. Tip 1. Stop sitting in blind spots like they're safe places. Every car on the road has areas where you disappear completely. Not hard to see. Gone. If you're in that zone, the driver could check their mirror and you still won't exist to them. Now here's the strange part. Almost every rider knows about blind spots. Ask anyone, they'll tell you they exist. But watch how people actually ride, and you'll see them sitting in blind spots all the time. Right next to a car on the highway, just behind the driver's door. Matching speed like they're locked in position. Nothing looks wrong in the moment. Traffic is moving smoothly. No sudden moves. No signs of danger. So it feels fine. That's exactly why it's dangerous. Because you're judging the situation based on what's happening now. But risk doesn't come from the present moment. It comes from what could happen next. And here's what usually happens. The driver gets bored, or distracted, or just decides to change lanes without thinking too much. No signal, no proper check, just a quick movement. And in that exact moment, you're in the one place they never looked. You don't get time to react properly. You don't get a warning. You just suddenly have a car moving into your space. And now you're forced into a panic reaction. That's how close calls turn into crashes. Not because you did something crazy, but because you stayed somewhere too long. The fix is simple, but it takes discipline. Don't sit in blind spots, pass through them, or move out of them. That's it. If you're overtaking a car, do it with purpose. Don't hang beside them like you're unsure. If you're not passing, drop back. Give yourself space where you can actually be seen. Think of blind spots as something you cross, not somewhere you stay. And here's something interesting. Once you start paying attention to this, you'll notice how often you drift into those zones without thinking. It happens more than you expect. Especially when traffic is calm. That's when people relax. That's when awareness drops. And that's when mistakes happen quietly. Fixing this one habit alone changes how you move through traffic. You stop floating around randomly and start riding with intention. But staying out of blind spots is only part of it, because even when you're visible, drivers still make mistakes. And that brings us to the next shift most riders struggle with. Tip 2. Stop expecting drivers to behave correctly. This one is hard for a lot of riders because it goes against what feels fair. You follow the rules, you stay in your lane, you ride predictably, so you expect others to do the same. But the road doesn't work like that. People don't always signal. They don't always check mirrors. They don't always think before they move. Sometimes they're distracted. Sometimes they're tired. Sometimes they're just careless. And sometimes they simply don't see you. If your riding depends on them doing the right thing, you're putting yourself in a weak position. Because the moment they mess up, you're the one dealing with the consequences. That's why experienced riders don't rely on what drivers should do. They focus on what drivers might do, even if it makes no sense, even if it feels unlikely. Let's say you're riding next to a car that's slowly drifting toward your lane. Most riders wait. They think they'll correct it. They'll notice. They'll move back. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. And by the time you realize that, it's already too late to react smoothly. Now everything becomes rushed, braking hard, swerving, heart rate jumping. Instead, you flip the mindset. You assume they are going to move into your lane. So before it even happens, you adjust. You create space. You prepare an escape. You're ready. Now, if they don't move, nothing happens. You just continue riding. But if they do, you're already in control. No panic, no sudden reaction, just a smooth adjustment. Same thing at intersections. You see a car waiting to turn. Most riders assume they see me. They'll wait, but that assumption is where people get caught because that driver might be looking through you instead of at you. So instead of trusting them, you prepare. You cover your brakes, you adjust your speed slightly. You position yourself where you're more visible. You're not riding scared, you're riding ready. And that difference is huge because riding ready means nothing surprises you. And when nothing surprises you, your reactions stay calm. That's what keeps things under control. Now, here's where it connects to something most riders ignore. Even if you expect mistakes, even if you're ready for them, there's still a reason drivers don't react to you the way they should. And it comes down to how you position yourself on the road. Tip 3, your lane position is not fixed. Use it. A lot of riders pick a spot in the lane and stay there, usually right in the middle. It feels balanced, predictable, safe. And on an empty road, it might be fine. But in traffic, it can work against you because where you sit in your lane changes how visible you are and how much space you have to react. Let's break this down. If you're riding directly behind a car in the center of your lane, from the perspective of oncoming traffic, you're hidden. You're lined up perfectly behind that vehicle, so anyone looking ahead sees the car, not you. Now shift slightly to the left side of your lane. Suddenly, you're in their line of sight. You appear earlier. You stand out more. That small change can be the difference between someone noticing you or not. Same thing when you're approaching an intersection. If you stay in one position the whole time, you limit how visible you are to drivers waiting to turn. But if you adjust slightly, left or right depending on the situation, you change the angle they see you from. You increase your chances of being noticed. And remember what we talked about earlier. Being seen is not enough. You need to be noticed. Lane position helps with that, but it also gives you something just as important: options. If you're always centered with no thought behind it, you reduce your escape paths. You limit where you can go if something suddenly happens. But when you actively choose your position, you're always thinking, if something goes wrong right now, where do I go? Left gap, right gap, space ahead. You're constantly leaving yourself an exit. And this doesn't require aggressive riding. It's subtle. Small shifts, small adjustments, but they add up. They change how traffic interacts with you. And more importantly, they change how much control you have. Because riding safely isn't about hoping nothing happens. It's about being ready when something does. Now, here's where things start to connect in a bigger way. You're staying out of blind spots. You're expecting mistakes. You're using your lane position properly. But there's still something missing. Because even with all of that, you can still blend into traffic without realizing it. And when that happens, drivers stop treating you like a separate vehicle. You become part of the background. And that's where the next mistake quietly creeps in. And that's where things start to get dangerous in a way most riders never notice. Because blending into traffic feels normal. It doesn't feel risky. You're not doing anything aggressive. You're not making mistakes. You're just there, moving with everyone else. Same speed, same flow, same rhythm. And that's exactly the problem. Tip 4, stop moving exactly with traffic. You've probably heard this 100 times. Go with the flow. It sounds right. It sounds safe. And in some ways it is. You don't want to be flying past everyone aggressively. You don't want to create chaos around you. But matching traffic perfectly, that's where you disappear. When your speed matches the cars around you exactly, you become part of a pattern. And once you become part of a pattern, people stop paying attention to you as an individual. Think about it from a driver's perspective. They're scanning the road, not deeply, not carefully, just quick glances. Their brain isn't analyzing every vehicle one by one. It's grouping things. Cars in a line, same speed, same spacing, one moving block. If you're sitting inside that block, you're not standing out. You're just another shape in the flow. And when drivers stop noticing you as a separate object, they stop reacting to you. That's when lane changes happen without awareness. That's when someone drifts over without realizing you're there. That's when you get squeezed with nowhere to go. So the goal isn't to break the flow aggressively, it's to stay slightly out of sync, just a little ahead, or just a little behind. Enough to create separation, enough to stop blending in. This doesn't mean speeding, it means adjusting. If traffic is moving at one steady pace, you either move through it cleanly or you hang back with space. You don't sit stuck between cars with no options, because being surrounded on all sides is one of the worst positions you can be in. No escape, no room, no time. Instead, you want gaps, open space around you. Even if it's small, it matters because space gives you choices, and choices give you control. Let's say traffic suddenly slows. If you're boxed in, you have to react instantly, hard braking, maybe swerving. Everything becomes tight and stressful. But if you've left space, you roll off smoothly. You adjust early, you stay in control. Same thing if someone cuts into your lane. If you've got space, you adjust. If you don't, you panic. That's the difference. And here's something most riders don't realize: you don't need a lot of space. You just need enough. A few extra meters, a small gap, a slight difference in speed. It doesn't look like much, but it completely changes how safe you are. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Because even when you create space, even when you stay out of sync, drivers can still miss you. Not because you're hidden, but because your brain hasn't given them a reason to react. And that leads to the final shift, the one almost nobody uses consistently. Tip 5: make yourself noticeable, not just visible. This is where everything comes together. You can be in the perfect lane position. You can avoid blind spots. You can create space. And still, a driver looks straight at you and pulls out anyway. That's the moment that confuses riders the most. I was right there. I know they saw me. But here's the truth: they looked at you. They just didn't process you. There's a difference. The human brain filters information constantly, especially while driving. There's too much going on to focus on everything, so the brain prioritizes what stands out, what moves, what feels important. Static objects? They get ignored, filtered out, pushed into the background. And if you're riding in a perfectly straight line, at a constant speed, holding the exact same position, you become predictable. And predictable often becomes invisible. Not physically invisible, but mentally. The driver's brain doesn't flag you as something that needs attention. So how do you break that? You introduce movement. Not big aggressive movement. Not swerving wildly. Small changes, subtle shifts. You move slightly within your lane, left, then center, then right, just enough to change your position relative to the driver's view. You adjust your speed slightly. Roll on, roll off, just a bit. You create motion that the brain can't ignore because movement triggers attention. It forces the brain to recognize this is something I need to track. Now, suddenly, you're not just another object in traffic. You're something active, something noticeable, something real. And that one shift changes how drivers react to you. They hesitate before pulling out. They double check before changing lanes. They give you that extra second. And that extra second, that's everything. Now, here's something important. This isn't about weaving aggressively. It's not about drawing attention in a risky way. It's controlled, calm, intentional. Even a small lane adjustment every few seconds can make a difference. Just enough to break the pattern, just enough to stay on their radar. And once you start doing this, you'll notice something interesting. Drivers behave differently around you. They don't cut you off as often. They don't drift into your space as much. Because now they actually see you, not just with their eyes, but with their awareness. And that's what you want. So now step back for a second. Look at everything together. You're not sitting in blind spots anymore. You're not expecting drivers to do the right thing. You're using your lane position with purpose. You're staying out of the traffic pattern instead of blending into it. And you're creating movement that makes people notice you. None of this is complicated. None of it requires advanced riding skill. But it changes everything. Because now you're not relying on luck. You're not hoping drivers see you. You're shaping how they react to you. And that's a completely different way to ride. Most riders never make this shift. They focus on the bike, on speed, on technique. But real safety? It comes from awareness, from understanding how traffic works, from knowing how people behave when they're distracted, tired, or just not paying attention. And once you see that clearly, riding starts to feel different. Traffic feels slower, not because it actually is, but because you're ahead of it. You're reading it early. You're not reacting last second anymore. You're making decisions before things go wrong. And that's when riding becomes smooth, controlled, almost predictable. You stop getting surprised. You stop feeling rushed. And you start feeling like you actually understand what's happening around you. That's the point most riders never reach. Not because they can't, but because no one shows them how simple the shift really is. It's not about doing more, it's about seeing more. And once you see it, you can't go back to riding the same way again. And if this kind of thinking clicks with you, if you care about understanding what's really happening on the road, not just riding through it blindly, that's exactly what I build on this channel. No hype, no unnecessary noise, just real world awareness that actually makes a difference when you're out there riding. There's also the Auto Nerd crew. It's for people who want to go deeper with this. Riders who don't just want to ride, but want to understand why things happen the way they do. If that sounds like you already know where to find it. I'll see you in the next one.